On today's Minute of the Apes, I'm sending a note to Apple. Your audio playback things suck.
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
Ready to the divine bomb.
The only good human is a dead human! Where there is fire, there is smoke.
The minute of the apes. The minute of the apes. The minute of the apes. The minute of the apes.
Hello and welcome to Minute of the Apes, the daily podcast where we break down every minute of the Planet of the Apes movies, 1 minute at a time. I'm Todd. I'm pissed at Apple because their apps just are a pain in the ass to play with. But Richard, you don't look like you're pissed about anything.
No.
Damn, I want to be more
fine.
like Richard.
They're pain in
Be
the
more
apple.
like Richard.
Yes.
There you go.
Sean, how are you today?
I'm all right. I have no pains in my apple.
No pains in your Apple. Yeah. Is that a work computer that you use?
Yep.
You're not forced to go the Mac route?
No, we're all PCs except for design, I think.
When I went back to, I think I've said who I worked for before. I worked for Yahoo.
Yeah.
When I went back there, they had changed over to their all Mac. Oh my God. I just was immediately like, fuck.
When I was in admin back in 2000, so this is 2 decades ago, we had to maintain 2 different sets of systems, right? We had the PCs for all the accountants and all of the management, and then we had all our design staff was all on Mac. So we had to maintain both systems on one network, and it was
I'm sure that's a nightmare in a lot of ways.
it had, I mean, it's had its own set of issues. It wasn't, I guess because I was more of a PC person at the time, I really didn't understand much about how the Macs operated. Like, are they on the network? Okay, cool, good, bye.
Yeah. Well, and because of this, I've learned to use it, and I do like things about it. But what I find curious with a company the size of Yahoo, and especially when it's about developers, not only do you have Macs predominantly, but then you will have to have PCs because you have to check and make sure that
it's
a large
working on
portion of
PC,
your
yeah.
audience can see it. But then a lot of developers are using Linux systems, which can be very, and it's like, okay, you can try and crack down on this, but if anything, to me, you're making it harder on yourself. So
Speaking of that, I always love the fact that, my husband who does front end development, I love the fact that he's got, a couple of different devices and phones and browsers and systems, so he can actually look
Test
at
on
how
everything,
exactly
yeah.
look. What does it look like over here? Is this breaking? Oh, it's breaking on Microsoft Edge. I've got to fix this. And the company will occasionally say, "Hey, we're no longer support since only 2% of the people use this particular type of browser, age of browser. We're not going to support that anymore."
right.
Oh, fascinating.
That's always such a nice feeling.
That's funny that you have that because Shelly's done the same to me when, especially now working from home, she'll come in and see, and she's like, "Why do you have the same thing open 5 times?" I said, "Because there are 5 versions of this people can get, and I need to make sure every one of them is working."
Right.
I never thought about that. And I was like, well, I don't think about HR shit.
Yeah.
But, that's the truth of if you work in a tech field, you have to be aware and present of how are people getting my content.
I was having a problem, paying my Spectrum bill on my Chrome browser, and I've discovered that, and it changed within the last year, I could only pay my Spectrum bill on a Microsoft browser and not on a Chrome browser. It was the strangest thing.
Did you try Firefox?
I didn't try Firefox, no.
That's
but
always when you're in that's always a good alternative. For some reason, it tends to work over there. If you ever need that again, try to go there.
My dad was having some graphic issues with who wanted to watch a golfing tournament, and he was watching it on Firefox. And it was like, hey, can you tell me why this is doing this? I'm like, I don't know. Let's open up a different browser. Oh, look, it's fine here.
Yeah.
It was just so, it was
Yeah.
like, oh.
Not without getting into not making this minute of the technical discussions, but it's not just that your player may have a set of standards, but then they change the standards within that, and it suddenly doesn't jive over here. Now that it's a discussion for another time. People that build the stuff and don't test the stuff, and then it comes to me on the front end where I'm putting it out, and so people, test your shit. Okay. All right, minute 49. Tell us what's going on.
All right, we start at minute 49 with Caesar explaining mutation while Corny feeds his pet, and ends with mutants on the march.
I like the fact that you finally use Corny, which has been my nickname for Cornelius since forever. So thank you, Sean.
Yeah.
All right, minute 49. Here we come.
These humans are the end product of nuclear radiation. They're mutant, and they're mad.
Keep all emergency channels open.
Yes, Governor. All emergency channel will remain open.
If anything should miscarry, I'll signal you as arranged.
Yes, sir.
Hurry, man! We need it!
The school bus will be operational, Governor. The rest of the convoy will join us at Junction C.
Get moving.
As of minute 49, we have a village worth of apes and humans, plus a ghost city's worth of radioactive people.
How many times is Caesar going to say they're mutant and they're mad?
They're mad.
It's like
Is he trying to convince Lisa, or is he trying to convince himself?
that's a good question. And let's go back to the conversation we had yesterday about Lisa's questions pushing him and exposing his bullshit to an extent. I wish that there was some way that this somehow was explained away of why Caesar feels the need, number one, to repeat the same phrase, and number two, what is it? What is it that's propelling his need to do this?
And let's go back a little bit further. Didn't he just go into the Forbidden City and discover that the future ends in a fiery,
Yeah.
molten pit of whatever that seems to be related to the guerrillas in war? Mm-hmm. Why is he escalating this all of a
after the
sudden?
humans,
now?
That's a really good point.
He may be moving this further into the thing that he's very much afraid that he was warned by his parents. Like it's a strange change for this
it's Tenet,
character,
man. It's like it's all a loop. You're gonna create.
Don't ever mention that movie in this podcast.
It's a temporal pincer movement.
Okay, so Lisa and Caesar have I like in our previous minute it showed that they're actually married. They know each other. They have conversations, and we all know this. The three of us being married, your conversations, to me at least, will often cycle back to that same thing. We understand the psychotic behavior of our partner, and I say psychotic because we're all crazy as shit. We get the crazy, we get the things, and I watch it, and I think, why isn't she asking that? She knows about his parents. She knows these kind of things. He surely told her even more in private. He's given her things. Why isn't she coming back and saying to him, why isn't she the one that says, your parents warned you and the world of this behavior? Say that. And make him even question himself, because doubt upon a character is wonderful.
Why did he come back and tease Aldo about the future?
Yeah.
And then 2 seconds later,
He's ready for war.
Tell Aldo to prepare for war.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand why the character suddenly just flipped like this. It would have been more interesting if maybe they had captured, one of the humans that was spying on them.
Yeah.
And the captain is the one who scurries back to report what's going on.
Right.
But in that dialogue, we get
that's a good idea.
We get a mad human that's telling them crazy things.
Right.
That's threatening them, that pushes Caesar to the point of recognizing what a threat they are.
Boy, seriously, that's a wonderful idea. That would explain why Caesar goes beyond. Because at this point, I could see Caesar, instead of let's go to war, let's protect ourselves. They're mad. Look, we need to be a little afraid. Let's build a barrier. Let's build barricades. Let's do something that could keep them at bay. But instead, this escalation, it is 0 to 135 right away.
And to speaking of escalation, we didn't get the. You talk about time passing and not really showing there. We go right to Jeeps. Like there's no downtime between the captain reporting, "Hey, make your plans."
Well, I mean, I'm supposing
and boom, we're a Culp's in a Jeep driving off to do military stuff. I mean, that scene with the missile would have at least given some breathing room between the preparations and Culp getting to the point that he's actually driving off to war. It
I'm
was
ass-
sudden fast.
I'm assuming that what we saw the mutants doing when we first saw them, where they were just gathering supplies or whatever, is them supposedly building these Jeeps and everything. That's what I'm assuming.
Maybe that was supposed to happen here.
But here's the deal. If you haven't driven a Jeep and you're just like putting it together now in 10 years, your gas and battery are not going to work.
Battery.
Well, not only
work
that,
now.
these people don't even know how to operate a clutch anymore. We'd be shuddering out of there.
Okay, let's talk about the bad dialogue here. Let's keep all channels open. Yes, sir, we will keep all channels open. Wait for our signal if something goes wrong. Well, what happens if we don't get a signal from you? I mean, what's going on?
Well, I even want to go, okay.
And also, that guy, he's welding, but you don't just weld and then start driving. You got to at least let that cool down.
Well, and the whole, hurry, man, you know, it's
hurry,
like...
hurry. I can't control heat.
By the way, hey, dumbass, if I hurry with this weld, it's going to fall apart while you're out there, and then we're going to have to set up and repair it in the field, and that's not a good idea. I understand the urgency that you just don't do that with welding, but what bugs me in this, if I go, I'm going to zoom forward in this moment to the 30-second mark. We see the entirety of the set that they have for this ape control area. But if we go back to when Culp and Alma start the moment, they're walking down that same damn set of stairs again. How many shots do they get out of that one setup? And again, if you want to make a movie and make it quick, you do as many things as you can in one place and do it. Boy, that's just frustrating.
It does. You know, and I'll mention the council room that ended up being outside. This is just, they just don't have the time or the budget to put into the sets they need. You know, we went into the abandoned city, and it's the 2 cars and the random jungle gym and some melted steps and maybe the interior of like a lion's zoo section. They didn't flesh much out for these sets, and so they're just reusing a lot of the same moments.
Speaking of fleshing out, the fact that there's a cannon in Culp's Jeep, he has to like sit halfway out of the seat with one leg out. It's like you could tell that cannon is not supposed to be in there.
So if we're trying to mix this up, they have that control room that Culp was in before, the place where Alma kind of hit the button incorrectly, you know, when she's going to the microphone. Stage the scene in there.
Yeah,
And
that actually would work. Yeah, when he's asked, keep all signals open, you know, she's just a whore, and they're going to, sure.
Right. But put it there. It's a different location. It feels like something different is happening. Then we go to Mr. Hurry Up Man, and that would be our cut to back out, and we could see them walk down. It just... You need something different here.
I did like that the Jeep windows were so dirty that the only one that got cleaned off was the driver's window.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Oh, yeah, you're
You
right.
The driver's is the only one who'd be able to see. Whoever's in the passenger side can't see shit.
Did they do that with spit? Just get them...
I don't know, but I actually really liked the dust effect on the passenger side window. I just don't understand. I really don't understand how this escalated so fast. I mean, it just feels like 5 minutes ago they discovered an ape city with orchards, and now they're in Jeeps about to go off and do something.
With the terror of a school bus implied.
Oh, yeah. Well, I love that. Now, keep in mind, they don't mention the school bus in the script. That kind of back and forth with the captain running through the preparations is not really here necessarily. The dialogue isn't anyway. So I love they're teasing us with, hey, we've got a prop.
That mean, yeah.
I know.
Get ready for a lot of people. Get ready for our clown car, basically. Everybody's going to come off.
Well, that cracked me up.
So let's go back to your idea that they capture one of the people. Okay, that serves twofold. He gives crazy misinformation that terrifies Caesar.
Right, that pushes him to the point. Makes him forget what his potential future was.
And guess what? When the captain comes back to Culp, they captured Sean, and they've got him. They're surely torturing him. I've seen. And here he was the one that tortured Armando. You know, he knows these kind of things.
Projecting.
And he's doing his. You've now got 2 people with the wrong information making the wrong choices, and that would work. That'd be grand. Let's go kill him. Let's do all this.
And that would mean
so
why
simple.
Would mean why he's suddenly cutting short any of the preparations he had to prepare to fight this battle. He's like, no, we got to go now.
Yeah. Could you not, hey, the cannon's not operational. Can you work on it while we're driving? Well, you make those kind of things, and that gives things that happen. You're right, because this makes 0 sense that they're running to the Jeeps, which, by the way, to your cannon point, somebody fires that cannon, you're sitting that close to it, oh, shit. You're not going to be doing well.
The noise, the pressure, the heat,
Yeah. That is a really badly conceived idea to put a cannon right down the middle
in
of a
between
Jeep.
2 people, yeah.
It looks cool.
Was I the only one with the last couple of seconds? Just hi ho, it's off to the next act we go.
Well, I do like your reference to Citizen Kane with the mutants
On the
march.
I will say this about this week's worth of minutes. I feel like they almost